propel veterinarians to their dream practice through insight and foresight. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Sorry to be a few late. We had a little bit of technical problem, and I know you guys know how that goes. So wanted to talk today about scaling your practice and what the heck does that mean? So I'm assuming part of your wildest dreams practice is to grow and to have a sustainable business model so that at some point in time, you'll be able to sell it off to the next generation, hopefully, because we don't need all these corporate buyers out there, but maybe even sell to a corporate buyer. But again, in order to do that, we want to make sure that we have our practice where it needs to be. So why is it critical to make sure that we're scaling for growth and sustainability? Well, we want to make sure that we have the increased efficiencies. We want to make sure that we have our processes in order, that we know that the second that client walks in the door, what happens? And literally, I want you to step this out from the front door. So they open the door, what do they see? Do they see smiling faces? Do they see grumpy people who really aren't happy to be there? Do they see a pleasant environment? So I want you to walk through your practice as though you were the client. And of course, think about the patient too. What are they seeing? How are they feeling? Is it fear-free? So, again, think about that process. Think about from the second they walk in the door, through their greeting, through their check-in, then what happens when they're introduced to the exam room, or maybe they're just being dropped off for the day. How does that whole process work? Is it quick? Are people standing around waiting for somebody to pay attention to them? So again, I want you to walk through your practice through the eyes of your client. So when you first open a business, doesn't matter, veterinarian business, any business, you're going to take any and every client because you need to make that money. And that's not where you are right now. You have a solid practice and you're tired because you're working all the time. So what we want to do is we want to plan for sustainable growth. And what that means is that we can identify the areas in which we want to grow. Do we want to have a retail store? Do we want to add food? Do we want to add a specialty to our practice? Do we want to add boarding? Things like that we can walk through and see what's going to be the best fit for you and your practice. So another reason that we really need to look at growth and sustainability is for risk management. We can, again, look at our finances and say, okay, we are at X right now, and we want to get to Z. So what do we need to do in order to get there? And by making that plan, we eliminate some of the risk that naturally a new business goes through. But you're established now. So we want to do, again, that sustainable growth. You want to be more adaptable to the market. And again, you're able to do that numerous ways. If you're in a growing city, obviously you have new patients, new clients to gear your marketing towards. So again, it's being thoughtful about where we're putting our dollars. And again, through the sustainable growth, then we can enhance our capacity. Do we need to add another doc? Do we need to add another tech? What is it that we need to add in order to grow strategically, grow as we want to grow instead of just getting everything thrown at you at one time? So again, we're going to talk about consistent growth, financial stability. If your resources are overwhelmed, then it's time to start thinking about scaling. What the heck does that mean? It means that if all your people are at full capacity 100% of the time, and your building or your facilities are at 100% capacity, that's where you get burnout. There's some things out there. Some people say 80%, some people say 90% capacity. It's what you're comfortable with, but everyone, docs, techs, the staff, everyone needs a little bit of downtime during the day so they can take a breath and they can be more efficient. So again, if you're overwhelmed resources, it's time to start thinking about scaling up. So one way to prepare is we take a look at our current operations, where we stand right now. And, again, are we at capacity? Or maybe we have some capacity, so we up our marketing. So again, it's all of this looking forward and talking about the financial planning, that we need to secure any funding that we may need. Again, we don't know what that is unless we do that strategic plan. Staffing, we've been talking about that quite a bit today, and it's huge. Everybody is having trouble finding quality people for work. And if you find somebody, they may quit 3 days into the job. Doesn't make sense, but that's what's happening. So we need to reassess, are we paying enough? Do we have enough benefits? What do we offer to attract quality staff? And our technology and equipment. Do we have the most up-to-date technology? If we've got something that's 20 years old that we bought when we first opened our practice because that's all we could afford, it's time to look at those finances. Can we get the lending that we need in order to get the equipment to make us more efficient? And I know it sounds crazy, but that technology, we can use it as our friend, and it helps speed up some of those mundane tasks. And it can do it in a heartbeat. Technology is just so fast anymore. And it's just amazing some of the things that these software programs are doing. So it helps our practice to be more efficient if we have the correct equipment and the correct technology. How do we scale? We talked about a little bit earlier, think about maybe offering a new service. Again, I hate to throw this out there because I don't really think it belongs with veterinarians, but you never know. Being in a small town, it might be something to do. Maybe you offer a dog walking service. Maybe the vet I go to, he took over his dad's practice once his dad died. And the practice has a lot of elderly individuals. As you can imagine, they had stuck with his dad throughout their lifetimes. And what if you offered a service where you either went and picked up the patient or went and picked up the client and the patient? And, again, you're going to charge for this, so it's not like you're losing money. But again, that's a service that you might want to offer. New locations. Do you have the opportunity to open up a second location? Everybody's talking about corporate. We don't necessarily want corporate, but what if you did open a second practice? If your first practice is so booked and you have no room to grow, why not get a second location and you got your processes in order? You're already scaling, so let's just scale up some more. Partnerships. Is there anybody out there in your community that is maybe pet related that would be a good partnership with you? Now, I'm not talking about, hey, let's do this official legal partnership where we have to split our profits this way and that way. I'm just talking about a friendly, hey, here's your buddy maybe that owns a pet store, and you just have your cards there at the pet store, and you refer to his pet store, his or her pet store, and they refer back to you. So there's all kinds of opportunities out there to think about. So some challenges. Obviously, the number one that everybody is concerned about is maintaining that high quality of service, that world-class service. So again, if you have those processes, If you've taken those steps to walk through your practice in the eyes of your client, then you know you have it down step by step by step as to what you want the experience to be. And you have trained your staff, and you have material there to continue to train new staff. Speaking of staff, managing your staff is always an issue. So again, you offer benefits. You make it a great place to work, someplace that feels comfortable, someplace that's fun to come to, and you take care of your people. They will take care of you. And again, you're going to have those processes. You're going to have those SOPs set up so your staff knows what to do. There's a financial risk, of course. Anytime we grow a business, there's a financial risk. There was a financial risk when you opened your business. But let's face it, you guys are veterinarians and you guys are in high demand. I personally don't think that there's a huge financial risk for you guys. I have seen too many startup vet practices just blow it out of the water within months. So again, I don't think that's a huge concern for you guys, but again, it's always in the back of everybody's mind. Client satisfaction. How do you know if a client is happy? Ask them. Maybe send a follow-up survey after they leave, and maybe it's just really a personal phone call where you call up and say, hey, how's the kitty? How's the puppy? And by the way, is there anything we could have done to improve your experience with us? Simple thing like that. Human interaction. People are just craving human interaction. So something as simple as a phone call, just checking on the pet, is going to make a huge difference in your patient, in your client's minds. So again, the main thing to do is let's be proactive in our planning and our thought processes. And we can help you get together a plan. Just give us a shout, hop on our website. You can schedule a call with me, and be happy to talk through all of this and put together the best plan for you. So have a great Wednesday. Have a great rest of the week.